Welcome in to the G.S.Q.H. Well, as y'all see the guy on the screen is Coach Silas. We're going to talk about the elephant in the room, head coach of the Houston Rockets. The question is, quick hitters, should he be relieved of his duties? I think so. And I'm going to tell you why I think so. I think he kind of lost his team in the midst of this year. They've been very inconsistent, up and down, blowing leads when you think they have the game. Even playing against some good teams and some bad teams. They just start out sometimes with a 10-point lead, sometimes with a 20-point lead. And before that third quarter comes, everything falls apart, and they always give up the lead and end up losing the ball game. Me personally, I think this team his voice just don't carry any longer in that locker room with these youngsters. I think they need another head coach, a different voice, somebody can drive them. Now, Silas, he's an all right guy for me. I mean, he's a good guy. Good guy do not result into great head coach, obviously. But when he was up for the coaching job, when he was leaving from Dallas, he was an offensive guru. I can see why the Houston Rockets would want him with our young talent, because he's good with, young talent, bringing them along. But if you're looking to win right now, he's not going to be the coach for you to go through the grime and the rough of things throughout the season. He's the type of coach, he needs a team that's ready-made. If he coached for the Lakers, if he coached maybe for the Knicks, something like that, Brooklyn, everything's already set in place. He can just run his offensive schemes. I think he'll be okay. But for the Houston Rockets, I think his time is ran up. And maybe after this season, maybe during the season. I doubt this season. He had some tragedy come up with his father passing away. Rest in peace to Paul Silas. You hate for a guy to get relieved of his duties during this season. That wouldn't be right, I believe. At least let him finish the season out. But if you have him come back next season, I'll be pretty surprised. I just think his time has ran out. Good job to him coming in, developing the young talent. But I think his voice does not carry any weight in that locker room. Players still respect him. I just think they need another direction. Who that coach could be, I don't know. But they need the right temperament in that locker room for young guys with talent up and coming, especially some superstars in the making. And Jalen Green. They got a lot of young guys over there that can make some things happen in a few years. And I think another coach can get them over that hump. I don't think Silas is going to take them all the way to where they need to go. I just think somebody else got to take over, somebody that's a little more animated, hold people accountable. Maybe break a clipboard or something on the sideline. I'm not saying that Silas don't hold people accountable. I just think he does it a different way. He's a little more mild-mannered. But that's my take on it. I just think Silas' time is running out. Inconsistent season, man. Sacramento, the other night, 140 points they gave up. I mean, that's the worst I've seen Silas in a post-game conference. The way he was looking, disappointed in his team. I mean, no rotation, nobody's hustling, getting the men, people wide open and not rotating. I mean, those are signs right there. Inconsistency of the season, up and down. They can look good, and then they can look bad for 5 games straight. So I'm a Houston Rocket fan. I don't want to see them go out like this. I think they should have more wins under their belt, even though they're young. There's a handful of games this season that they actually could have pulled out. And they just fell apart. Big leads being shrunk down within 6 to 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's just unacceptable. And that just doesn't look good for Coach Silas when you have a lot of these games in a bag and then you end up just squandering them at the end. So this team, you've seen a whole lot of things with this team. You've seen a lot of upside from the young players, especially Singal. He's coming into his own. So, yeah, I think moving forward, we got some good talent, and we're going to get back to the playoffs. It might take between 1 to 3 years, but I think in that gap we can make some noise. But Stephen Silas, thank you for your services. Not saying you're going to be gone in the middle of this season or close to the end, but I just don't see you coming back next season. And if you do, then I just mark that up to what Houston teams do at sometimes. They hold on to dead weight too long sometimes, to where you don't have to cut the string off of it. It just ends up rotting and getting old and falling off itself. And that's when you done let it stay around too long. Too long. So that's my quick hit for the day. And also, this is Super Bowl Sunday. Go Eagles. Any Eagles fans out there? I'm not hearing too much noise. Or is it Kansas City like always? Y'all want to see Mahomes go and do it again. Tell the truth. Well, these Eagles going to be a spoil maker. It can go either way now. These are two great teams in the Super Bowl. It could be high scoring. It could be medium scoring. But one thing I can guarantee you, it will be exciting. And who's going to be victorious at the end? Anybody can see that? Right there? Eagles going to be victorious in the end. Tell me what y'all think. So, should Silas be fired, relieved of his duties after this season? During the season? Y'all Rockets fans out there, I know the frustration is there. A lot of people going to say, well, they a young team. You're going to make up all these excuses. They're young. Just give them some time. 5 or 10 years, they're going to be in the NBA. 5 or 10 years. 5 or 10 years. I don't think so. Nobody has that much time. And if it is 5 or 10 years, they'd have been had by 3 or 4 coaches probably at that time. But, yeah. Stephen Silas, much respect to you. Rest in peace to your father. You know, that was a sad time for you and probably still going through that pain of losing your father. Everybody knows. I lost my father. I know the pain of losing your father. But moving forward after this season, I just think Houston Rockets got to turn the page, find a new remedy, and just find a new coach. I think all the players are in place right now. It probably wouldn't hurt to get some fresh or 1 or 2 more new faces, on the team, on the roster. But right now we're looking pretty good. We just need some more leadership. Somebody's going to hold people accountable. Going to break a clipboard or 2, because you know me. It ain't about, the expertise of your offensive guru. It's all about your temperament. It's all about your demeanor. How you talk to the players, how you're engaged into the game, holding people accountable. That's what means a lot to me as a coach. Not somebody that's an expert just for defense or just for offense who can draw up plays. It's a little more than that. So I think Stephen Silas probably find another job somewhere else. But right now for the Houston Rockets, they need somebody to pull out that old switch or that branch out back and shave it down real good and start swinging it at some heads. But anyway, it's Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. That's the quick hit of the day. Quick hitters. We in there. Let me know what you think about this. And I'm out. Peace.
Bye.